You are Locked On Phillies Postcast, part of Locked On Sports Philadelphia, on the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day.
What's going on, everybody? Mark Farzetta here, Locked On Sports Philadelphia, the Locked On Sports Philadelphia YouTube channel. Working out some bugs here. Thought we had it fixed, and I hope you guys can hear me loud and clear. Go ahead and give me a heads up in the chat if you don't mind, if you guys hear me okay. I'd love for that answer to be yes, that you hear me just fine and dandy. I need you guys to be my technical producers for this now, unfortunately. It looks like it's way off sound-wise. Yes, you got me, Evelyn. Hello, thank you. Executive producer Evelyn, thank you so much. Welcome into Locked On Sports Philadelphia on the Locked On Sports Philadelphia YouTube channel. My name is Mark Farzetta. This right here is brought to you by none other than the wonderful people of FanDuel. Take advantage of all they have to offer at FanDuel.com right now, especially when we're talking about what FanDuel is offering through tomorrow. FanDuel, all customers can have a $5 bet and get a 3-week free trial. That's a 3-week free trial of NFL Sunday Ticket from YouTube and YouTube TV. Visit FanDuel.com to get started. And as always, thanks very much for making Locked On Sports Philadelphia your first listen every day. We are free and available wherever you get your podcasts, as well as on YouTube, part of the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day. We saw this coming, right? This is what after 12 runs yesterday, we knew that it was going to be like a 4-hit night today, right? A 4-hit day today. That's what it was going to come down to. That's exactly what it came down to. And that is why it is so frustrating to watch this Phillies team attempt to play baseball on a consistent basis. Because just as we were highlighting last night, we were talking about Game 3, Game 4 of the World Series, and I know it was 2 years ago against the Houston Astros. They literally 7 runs. They shut out the Astros. They hit 4 or 5 home runs, whatever it was, and they dominate in that game only to get no hit after that. Extremely, extremely frustrating for the Philadelphia Phillies. And then tonight, you get the Schwarber to start things off. Let's start it off. 3 big things. Okay, 1, 2, 3. 3 big things. Okay. First off, the high of Kyle Schwarber's 15th leadoff home run, a new record, okay, for Major League Baseball. He extends the record, right? His own record. You're feeling pretty good. All right. They're going to put them in their back. They're going to put them in the rearview mirror. That's what's going to happen here. They're going to put the Mets in the rearview mirror. And then Ranger Suarez does not look like Ranger Suarez. I was very grateful to see 5 innings, 2 runs, and see that kind of performance from Ranger Suarez, but he still needed more offensive support. And Sean Maea went out there tonight, and he did his thing. He kept the Phillies off balance. He made the Phillies extremely aggressive, chasing pitches, hammering the strike zone. He didn't do anything that was crazy. I would, as much as I'd love to say I wish the Phillies' approach was better, he was hammering the strike zone. I know we've talked about other starters before. I think it was Luis Severino who was making guys swing outside the strike zone. And once the Phillies finally got patient, they finally went out there and they got things done. But this was an example of Sean Maea. You got to tip your cap. He pounded the strike zone, and the Phillies, other than the 2 home runs, could not come up with the big hits. So, look, I look at Ranger Suarez, and I look at him just getting back to where he needs to be. And if you could get him back to where he needs to be for the postseason, and you got to work out things like tonight where you saw him go 5 innings, you saw him, unfortunately, in an instance like tonight, need to go out there and need 91 pitches to get through 5 innings of work, and unfortunately also saw him walk 3. If that's what you're watching from Ranger Suarez, then all you could do is hope that this is not the version you're going to see in the playoffs, but it's the version you saw earlier in the season, and he needs to get through what he's going through now in order to get back to the Ranger Suarez that we saw in April, May, and June, and certainly not the Ranger Suarez we saw in July and really ever since then. Tonight was an example of a guy that was battling through despite yet again not having his best stuff. I will say another encouraging thing, other than the bottom line stat, which is 5 innings and 2 runs, was that his fastball was getting back up to about 93 miles per hour with a lot of consistency today. That's a great sign. Also, again, bottom line, 5 innings, 2 runs. Love to see that from Ranger. That moves us on to number 2. Number 2 is the fact that you look at the lineup tonight. Kyle Schwarber got the leadoff home run, and then Trey Turner, Bryce Harper, Alec Boehm, Nick Castellanos. After Kyle Schwarber's leadoff home run, the only hit you got from your 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 hole hitters was Nick Castellanos' home run. That was it. And that Nick Castellanos home run came in the 5th inning, and that was really it. There was no rhythm in this Phillies offense. There was no taking advantage of big opportunities like the Phillies had, even though they were few and far between. The bottom line is, I think the number one thing you have to look at from this particular game is that the New York Mets did not issue one free pass. Not one. The Philadelphia Phillies issued 7 free passes. And the man that I look at the most from a pitching perspective is Orion Kerkering. And if I was to list the things, I mean, yeah, the lineup was terrible tonight. The 2 home runs, an RBI ground out by Cal Stevenson in a pinch hit appearance there. You had some opportunities there late in the game. I think it was the 7th inning. Yeah, 7th inning, you had an opportunity to get something going for yourself. Excuse me, 8th inning, you had an opportunity to get something going for yourself, and you just couldn't do it. Couldn't get the big hit, couldn't get the big runs. You only got 1 run across the plate in that 8th inning. I certainly look at the lineup, but then I also look at Orion Kerkering. I really like Orion Kerkering. I love Orion Kerkering, and I really love what he's got. You're looking at a guy who came into that 8th inning today, into that 7th inning today, and he had not allowed a run since the 15th of August. He had not allowed 2 runs in an inning since the 8th of August. So he had been riding a pretty big hot streak, a nice long hot streak. And unfortunately, that came to a crashing halt where the Phillies, even offensively, you knew it just wasn't there. The Phillies were still trying to get it done somehow, some way in this game tonight. And who knows? Maybe he comes in, he does his job in the 7th inning. Maybe that Cal Stevenson RBI is the end all be all and the shot in the arm there of the New York Mets, the nail in the coffin in the New York Mets, so to speak. It wasn't, because Orion Kerkering struggled big time. And you can't have all these things go wrong in one big game. A guy that's been consistent for you for well over a month in Orion Kerkering can't come in and struggle on the same day where your lineup is struggling mightily as well. So Kerkering goes out there in the 7th inning. He walks Marte right out of the gate. He strikes Venetos. He strikes out Venetos. 5 strikeouts for him tonight for Venetos. Then Alonso gets hit by the pitch. Nimmo gets an RBI single to left field. Taylor steps up. They get him to strike out on a 3-2 sweeper, and then Alvarez steps up there with a 2-run double, makes it a 5-2 game. Threw him 3 straight sweepers, and the 3rd one, wouldn't you know it? Alvarez just puts it at the right place where nobody can get to it. Kerkering's out. Alvarado comes in. He gets Bader to strike out on 3 pitches using that cutter. By the time the smoke was settling, by the time it was all done, 5-2 at the end of that bottom of the 7th inning. It's a rough one. Matt Gelb of The Athletic points out, once again, for Orion Kerkering, he did not allow a run since August 15th. It was a 14-inning span. He had not walked a batter since September 1st, and he gave up the leadoff walk to Marte. And that was pretty much it after that. It was a rough one again, unfortunately, for the Phils. And I absolutely think that when you look at the way the Phillies lost game 1, they fought back in game 2. Game 3 was a little bit closer. Now game 4 is going to be the huge opportunity for the Phils, a huge opportunity. Unfortunately, there are some numbers that don't lend themselves anything positive. They don't give you a lot of inspiration. Zach Wheeler's pitching. That's great. And the guy he's pitching against is supposed to be pretty terrible, but he hasn't been lately. And then looking back at last year, we'll cover those numbers coming up in a second. This is Locked On Phillies Postcast on the Locked On Sports Philadelphia YouTube channel. Make sure you hit like and subscribe. Once again, thank you for your patience in us getting this started about 20 minutes later than we usually are. So when I say we, I mean me. but I do appreciate it. Thank you guys for hanging in there. I'll be back in a second. Locked On Sports Philadelphia and the Locked On Sports Philadelphia YouTube channel. eBay Motors. Passion, drive, patience. The formula for winning championships is also what keeps your ride or die alive. eBay Motors is everything you need to maintain your vehicle and level it up to peak performance. Superchargers, roof racks, exhaust kits, LED headlights, and so much more. Whether you're into speed, power, style, eBay Motors has you covered, even if it's all of the above. With over 122 million parts for your number one ride or die, you'll always find exactly what you're looking for. And with eBay Guaranteed Fit, it's your part. Your part is guaranteed to fit your ride or die every time or your money back. Because with eBay Motors, you're burning rubber, not cash. With all the parts you need at the prices you want, it's easy to make your car the MVP and bring home huge wins. Keep your ride or die alive at ebaymotors.com. That's ebaymotors.com. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply. eBay Guaranteed Fit only available to U.S. customers. As I was saying, Tyler, don't call me Tylor, McGill is pitching for the New York Mets. Now, he's going up against your best in Zach Wheeler, one of the best in baseball, if not the best in baseball. And Tyler McGill coming into this game tomorrow is 4-5 on the season with a 4.08 ERA. That's what he's got going for himself going up in this game. But you look at what he has done recently in his last two starts, dating back to the 17th and the 19th, okay? 6 innings in both of them, so 12 innings in total, 1 run, and it was unearned. That's what Tyler McGill is bringing to the table tomorrow afternoon. Now, Tyler McGill also going up against the Phils. This dates back to last year. His last 2 starts of last year, both of them were against the Phillies, and one of them was exactly 1 year ago. Well, it'll be 1 year ago tomorrow. He went 6 innings against the Phils, allowing 3 runs. Phillies lost that game in 10 innings. He struck out 6 Phillies, used 99 pitches to get through those 6 innings of work. Then his last start against the Phillies was on Saturday, September 30th of last year. 7 1/3, 1 run, 4 hits, 2 walks, 7 strikeouts. 101 pitches to get through that. Let's hope that you see the guy that you saw exactly a year ago do exactly what he did a year ago in the exact same game, because they do that with Zach Wheeler on the mound. They win that game. Please and thank you, Tyler McGill. Go out there and do that. That'd be great. Now, here's the deal. You're looking at what Zach Wheeler has been able to do for the Phillies this entire season. I have zero doubt in my mind that he wants to be. He loves this stage. In New York, against his old team, trying to not only clinch the division against his old mates, but also continue to continue to push to go out there and get it done when it comes to going out there and continuing a push for a Cy Young Award. Chris Sale's going to win it. I have very little doubt that Chris Sale's going to win it. But Zach Wheeler, tomorrow night, 7 o'clock, is going to get the ball against this New York Metropolitan baseball team. And Zach Wheeler is going to look for his 17th win of the season. He's going to look to lower his ERA that stands right now at 2.56. And he's going to look to go out there and do his thing against his old team. Looking over his last couple of starts, as you know, so far in the month of September, through 3 starts, he's got a 1.89 ERA. He's going to want to keep that going. That is unfortunately up from his 1.62 ERA in the month of September. So he's going to want to go out there and continue to push. And the crazy thing, I'm just double checking this. The crazy thing is this year, Zach Wheeler has not faced the New York Mets. He's faced the Yankees, but he hasn't faced the Mets. If there is ever such a thing as a statement, this is it. Tyler McGill versus Zach Wheeler, I think every single Phillies fan wants that matchup. Regardless of 12 innings with not an earned run, the nice little streak Tyler McGill's got going for himself, or Zach Wheeler doing what he's been doing pretty much the entire season. Phillies have an opportunity at Citi Field to lock up the NL East. Their first division championship since 2011. They have the opportunity to throw that in the face of the New York Mets. Do that tomorrow. Please and thank you. And that'll get everybody back on the wagon being excited again about this Philly squad. And then, you know what else you can do? I'll tell you what else you can do. You can continue to fight. The Dodgers got a game tonight, 9-10 start time between them and the Rockies. Cal Quantrill gets the start tonight against Walker Buehler. So let's go Rockies. Let's go Rockies so the Phillies can keep best record in baseball. Let's do that. And then get out there tomorrow and handle your business with Zach Wheeler on the hill. Your Cy Young candidate. Please and thank you. All right, back in a second. Locked On Sports Philadelphia and Locked On Phillies postcast. We'll take your comments coming up if you Locked On Sports Philadelphia. FanDuel. Hope you guys are taking advantage of all FanDuel has to offer. You've heard us talking a lot about FanDuel, America's #1 sports book, and we have something that's a little bit different for you now through tomorrow. All FanDuel customers can bet $5 and get a 3-week free trial on NFL Sunday Ticket from YouTube and YouTube TV. Then with YouTube TV's base plan, you'll be able to watch every regular season Sunday afternoon out-of-market game. All you need is a Google account and a current form of payment, and you can cancel anytime. Just visit FanDuel.com. That's FanDuel.com and download America's #1 sportsbook. World Series odds right now. Dodgers going off at +310. Phillies going off at +450. The New York Yankees going off at +490. The Houston Astros +800. And the Baltimore Orioles going off at +900. As for your Super Bowl odds, wouldn't you know it? The Kansas City Chiefs, +490, leading the pack. The San Francisco 49ers, somehow, some way, still +650. With the Bills at +950. You have to look all the way down to +1,200 for the Philadelphia Eagles. Come on. Set it right against the Saints on Sunday there, fellas. Go to FanDuel.com. That's FanDuel.com and download America's #1 sportsbook at FanDuel.com. Also, once again, thanks for making Locked On Sports Philadelphia your first listen every day. How about for your second listen? Enjoy Locked On MLB podcast with host Paul Sully Sullivan. He's here daily to provide national expertise with his trademark humor to help you get ready for the MLB postseason and prepare for the Fall Classic with Sully, who has it all covered every single day on Locked On MLB, available on YouTube and wherever you get your podcast. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. Before we get into the chat check, I want to make sure we go through the entire game here a little bit. I know you guys caught it, but I want to make sure that we hit everything here. Schwarber had the leadoff home run, 0-1 sinker, 406 feet, opposite field, baby. That makes you feel good. Right there is his 36th home run of the season. Iglesias gets the leadoff double in the first inning off Ranger Suarez, but then Ranger Suarez able to get out of that jam. Unfortunately, walked Alonso, bouncing a changeup. And then he got Nimmo to ground out to second base to end that threat. 18-pitch first inning for Ranger Suarez. Phillies went down 1-2-3 in the second. Then Suarez went up there again in the bottom of the second. He got Taylor to ground out to short, and then Alvarez solo home run to left field on a 3-2 cutter that did not cut enough, 383 feet to left field, made it a 1-1 game. Then Acuna. I think I got this down now, okay? Hold on, stay with me. LouisAngel Acuna. Acuna. Then hit another solo home run, a first pitch curveball that hung up there. 2-1 now in favor of the Mets. Phillies go down 1-2-3 in the third inning. Then in the bottom of the third, Benito strikes out on a fastball away. Alonso walks again, bounced this time a curveball on a 3-2 pitch. Nimmo grounds into the 4-6 fielder's choice. When it was all said and done, it was a 25-pitch scoreless third inning for Ranger Suarez. Both teams go down 1-2-3 in the fourth. In the fifth inning, Nick Castellanos. Here's what's great about the home run Castellanos hit tonight. The home run Castellanos hit, although it tied things up 2-2, and that was pretty much it for any power in the Phillies lineup tonight, he golfed that thing out of there. It was a changeup on the outer half of the plate that he somehow pulled into left center field for a 377-foot home run and to tie things up at 2. At that moment, I thought, they got this. Phillies got this. Let's go. Pat's going to wake up. Let's go. Realmuto struck out on a changeup. Sosa struck out on a high fastball. Wilson grounded out the third, and that was it. Start of the fifth inning, Ranger Suarez is at 73 pitches. Marte comes up to the plate, grounds out to short. Veneto strikes out on a changeup. Alonso walks again. Then Nimmo strikes out on the sinker. An 18-pitch final frame for Ranger Suarez. Ruiz comes in. He runs into some trouble there in the 6th inning, unfortunately. Able to get out of that jam, fortunately. Phillies get a lot of help in that 6th inning thanks to that ground rule double by LouisAngel Acuna. The ground rule double with 2 outs. Should have scored a run. I believe it would have been Bader would have come around to score from first on that, but they put him back on third base. So now you got runners at 2nd and 3rd with 2 outs. Iglesias steps up, grounds out on the comebacker to Ruiz. Ruiz bobbles it, corrals it while falling down, fires the first and gets Iglesias out to end the 6th inning. 7th inning we covered. Phillies go down 1-2-3 in the top half of the inning. And then the Mets get to Orion Kerkering for 3 in the bottom of the 7th inning. And then in the 8th inning, this is where I thought the Phillies were really going to do something. 3-run game. Realmuto, a single. They take Manaea out finally, and then they bring Garrett in. Garrett, right-handed pitcher. So now all the guys that face right-handed pitching, Stott, Marsh, Stevenson, they grab a bat and they go up. The Tinker Topper was tinkering away at that point. Get up there, boys. Face the righty. So Stott gets a single. So now you have back-to-back singles to start off the inning. Marsh goes up there, pops out to short. That sucked. Then Stevenson gets the pinch hit for Rojas. He grounds into a 3-6 fielder's choice that allows JT Realmuto to score. That makes it a 5-3 game. Garrett goes out. Edwin Diaz comes in. Kyle Schwarber goes up 3-1 in the count. And Diaz gets him. Comes back in the 3-1 count and strikes him out on a fastball down and in that he swings over top of. And that was it. Schwarber, I thought, had the opportunity there to come up with the big hit, and it just didn't happen. Mets add on one more on Pete Alonso's RBI bloop single. Again, a couple of hits tonight from the Mets that were just, hey, credit to them. I'm not saying that they were lucky or anything, but hit, as the old saying goes, hit them where they ain't. And the Mets certainly did enough of that today. And by the close of the 8th inning there, it was 6-3, and that's the way it would end. Love to see what you guys have to say about this unfortunate Phillies loss. We'll get to you guys now in the chat. Let's get the John Crux Twitter feed. Rob Thompson needs to learn when a pitcher is struggling and take him out. I don't care about trust. He kills their confidence whenever he lets a reliever give up 3 runs. Also, 1,000 subs watch. I know. I'm really excited. If you guys haven't liked and subscribed and all that type jazz on the old social media platform on YouTube, we are 4 subs away from 1,000. If you haven't subbed, and you're watching right now, sub away, baby. Sub away. Tim, hello. By the way, John Crux Twitter feed, I agree. Tim, what's going on? Why do we have to be tortured like this? I don't know. IBH, unfortunately, the difference in the game was 7 walks and a hit batsman. Yeah, that was the other thing. Not only was it 7 walks, but you hit a guy. That's not cool. Poor Pete Alonso. Poor Polar Bear. Polar Bear got plunked. Evelyn, well, today is just not our day. Hit parade one day to what? 4 hits. Ranger not great. Bullpen not great. Just everything can't be not great. Like everything can't be subpar, and you expect to win. I know the Mets don't have Francisco Lindor. Well, what was that today? Acuna's 3rd home run since he's come up. He's doing just fine. How about that? ROAC 335. How you doing? The choke job continues. If you people think they will do anything in the playoffs, you're out of your mind. This team is a joke. Yeah, I think they'll do something in the playoffs. But here's the deal. I think they'll do it, but if they don't, I won't be surprised at all. And I don't think any right-minded Phillies fan thinks, no, they get to the playoffs and it's gravy. There's a chance where it's gravy. They hit and they get the good pitching. And then they got a chance. But then if they don't hit, they get no hit again, like they did in the World Series. Well, then, yeah, they ain't going anywhere. But it's a funny thing being a Phillies fan. I think everybody wants them to do well, obviously, right? You want to be a Phillies fan if you didn't. But I think also everyone is in the same boat I am, where you expect them to perform. They better perform, but you wouldn't at all be shocked if they don't. That's what Game 3 and Game 4 of the World Series did to us 2 years ago. That's what it did. It made us go, yeah, they should perform. Oh, they didn't? Not surprised. There's something they haven't done before. That type thing. Timothy B, hello. Once again, genius manager doesn't realize when a pitcher doesn't have it, and he leaves him in one batter too long. Well, how many batters long was it for Orion Kerkering? Marte, Venitos hits Alonso. Nimmo gets the RBI single. Strikes out Taylor. I mean, if you're Rob Thompson, you're watching that inning going, okay, all right, not so great, I'm going to pull him. Oh, good. Oh, not so great, I'm going to pull him. Oh, good. Oh, not so great, I'm going to pull him. I pulled him. There's kind of up and downs there for but look, when I was watching Orion Kerkering, did I think he had it? No. But I have watched Orion Kerkering over the last month and thought, this is where they get to him, and he gets out of it. That's one thing I could say about that. Mike D, hello. No surprise here. Score 12 runs the day before, then only 3 runs today. Got to have to wait till next week to clinch it. They hardly win on Sundays. I hope we don't face the Mets in the playoffs. Yeah, the Mets are kind of – the Mets are not – they're not kind of. The Mets are a scary team to me because they're that nothing to lose type team. They can have the chip on their shoulder that the Phillies have had. Just barely making it in the playoffs, get hot at the right time, and then all of a sudden they're a problem for everybody. Evelyn, yo, Farzy, we're here to comfort each other. It's okay to start the stream. Thank you for your patience. I don't trust the Phillies. Evelyn says she heard me. Hungry said he heard me, or she heard me. I don't know, Hungry. Hello, Hungry. KC, Arizona will also beat Philly. Yeah, it doesn't feel great. Nordique NHL, first off, phenomenal handle, Quebec Nordique. Do you think maybe the Phillies are just gassed? They played a lot of baseball in the last couple seasons. I really hate that excuse. It's like, well, don't be too good for too long, because then you'll be bad when it matters most. Like maybe if you're talking about overall body fatigue, maybe, but that's why I want everyone to win it tomorrow, and then you could be a little bit more selective with who you're playing and when they're playing them. And make no mistake about it, this Phillies team wants to be the number 1 seed. Make no mistake about that. Swinging hello. Casey Goober will screw it up in the playoffs. Who's Goober? Oh, Law, were you the guy saying that I look? Were you the guy saying I look like Keegan Michael Key? All right, so folks, this person reached out to me on one of our chats. This is what I've heard in my life about people I look like, okay? Here are the people. One, most recently, Nick Sirianni. They tell me I look like his bald older brother. He's older than me by a year, okay? Thank you very much. So, younger brother. Aaron Rodgers, when I had hair or if I wear a hat in the wintertime, people are like, hey, you look like Aaron Rodgers. I get that a lot. Nick Foligno. I get Nick Foligno a lot. That I look like NHL, hockey player Nick Foligno, right? And then this gentleman is the first person to ever tell me I look like Keegan Michael Key. Okay. I'll take it. Think he's a handsome fella. You know what I mean? Jordan, hello. I don't know. You tell me. Do I look like Keegan Michael Key, another guy? Can I add it to the list? Jordan Coughlin, Farzy, yeah, I guess we're waiting for Wheeler to get it done tomorrow night. I hope so. National televised game. Oh, wait. KC, hello. They have 2 pitchers. The Phillies have 2 pitchers they can count on. They won't ever get to the NLCS. Thanks. John Wheeler up tomorrow. Oh, wait. Oh, okay. All right, J-Law, Honest Music. The one I said who says I look like Keegan Michael Key of Key and Peele fame. I think losing is on purpose to keep the Braves behind the Mets in the wild card, Keegan. Maybe. In around the 8th inning, I was really stretching for optimism, okay? I was really looking for why are the Phillies losing on purpose? Okay? That's where I go in my idiot brain. Don't get me wrong. I'm not thinking logically at this point. I'm thinking as a way to heal myself from the pain of watching a team struggle like they did tonight. So I'm like, why would they? Here's why. You know the scene in Waterboy when Henry Winkler, the coach, is thinking, And he's just like, no. The quarterback, he passes. No. He thinks. No, he fakes the pass. No, he thinks about faking the pass. No. He fakes that he thinks about faking the pass. I don't know where I am. Okay? I go into those for self-soothing. It's a self-soothing mechanism when I'm watching the Phillies struggle or any sports team that I admire. I watch them struggle. I go into that thing. And I'm like, okay, hold on a second. No. The Phillies aren't trying to win. The Phillies are trying to lose because the Phillies know they're most likely going to face the Mets in the postseason and don't want to win at Citi Field because that would piss them off and give them a little bit more of an edge when they face the Phillies in the postseason. So obviously, you don't want to win the division on the Mets home turf when you can face them in the playoffs and then they're going to have that chip on their shoulder. Obviously, I don't know where I am. Then see what I did there? Yeah, that's what happens. Frank, they're consistently inconsistent. Here. Greg Q, gotta go JT. Huh? Greg Q again. Orion has been absolutely fantastic. Was due for a bad outing. It's only fair expected. I'm on the same page as you. Don't want to lose this series 3-1. Well, you just heard my completely flawless idea as to why they might. I've gone cross-eyed. Such a thing as champagne vinegar. That's great. Yuki Matsui. Hello. The Philadelphia Phillies have a record of 12-13 on Sundays in 2024. Gee, thanks. Oh, Matt Forster. On the scientific evidence behind being due in baseball by Professor Erwin Corey in the Journal of Astrological Physics, September 2024. Wonderful. Do you think the Rob plays backups tomorrow due to it being Sunday game? No, I think Rob wants to win this and wrap it up as quick as possible so that he can give guys breaks. That's what I think. Thanks, everybody in the chat. You guys are wonderful as per usual. Thanks very much. Tomorrow, 7 o'clock start time. I think earlier in the broadcast I said 7. I think I said afternoon. 7 o'clock tomorrow night. Nationally televised game. Your Philadelphia Phillies put Zach Wheeler on the bump at Citi Field. Phillies looking for their 93rd win of the season. He'll go against the righty Tyler McGill. McGill, once again, 4-5 of the season with a 4.08 ERA. Zach Wheeler, 16-6 on the year with a 2.56 ERA, of course, competing for a Cy Young Award against the Braves' Chris Sale. That's tomorrow night, 7 o'clock. Now, here's the deal. The Eagles play at 1. I have some responsibilities for the Eagles coverage, okay? You'll be covered here on Locked On Sports Philadelphia with Jason and Harry. And then at night, I will be I'm pretty sure I'll be back in the saddle. 90% sure I'll be back in the saddle to cover Phillies Mets tomorrow night for your postcast needs. But in the meantime, like and subscribe to Locked On Sports Philadelphia. That's like and subscribe to Locked On Sports Philadelphia. We are at 99 subs right now. We are at 999 subs right now on Locked On Sports Philadelphia. I am very tempted to just hang out with you guys until there's 57 live views right now. If one of you is not, we got to 1,000! We did it! We did it! Oh my goodness gracious! We did it! And with just like that, my internet starts to go out because of course I can't handle 1,000 people subscribing. I can't handle it. Thank you everybody for your support of this channel. Getting to 1,000 views with we started in May. This is incredible. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Be back with you guys tomorrow night. Now that there's 1,000 subs, I got to be back tomorrow night after the Eagles hopefully beat the Saints, that is. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. You guys are great as per usual. My name is Mark Farzetta. And you know what? Let's go for 1,001. Who just unsubscribed? Come on. Now 2 people unsubscribed? Come on, people. You're killing me, Smalls. Anyway. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. You guys are great as per usual. We'll be back with you guys tomorrow night. See you then. Bye.